Yes, good morning, everyone. Today I'm talking about Numpy module, which is an important module from the data science perspective. So most of the image processing, video processing, even numerical processing, computational level, Numpy is the a particular module which was designed to overcome the drawbacks of list data structure. So there is a list data structure already we have seen, where it will be allocates memory for the linear fashion, as well as it is mutable and it is heterogeneous. But whereas NumPy is look like same list, but it only work with a numerical and homogeneous elements, right? And where there is a less number of elements to be handled, we'll go with a list data structure. Where little millions, trillions of elements are required to be handled, will we go with the NumPy model. So the full form of NumPy is numerical Python. One second, just hold on. Here, num is nothing but numerical. Py nothing but Python. NumPy full form is numerical Python, which is used to perform computational operations on homogeneous elements. Clear? So let us see, how the difference would be from the list data structure from the perspective of the NumPy data structure, how they will be different from each other. I'll show with the right examples to you. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Yes, today I'm talking about, these are the topics I would like to talk about. Exactly, what exactly an importance of the NumPy and what are the basics and fundamental objects are going to be handled by the NumPy and how to create and how to perform an operations on this particular NumPy and how to, change the shape of this because it look like a matrix. NumPy list. A single list will be called as a one-dimensional array. Nested list will be called as a two-dimensional array. It can be three-dimensional array. So list can be converted as an array. Array will be called as a matrix. Matrix is also known as a vectors. These are the terms you're supposed to understand. All of them are same. But in physics, we'll call them in one way. In mathematics, we'll call them as in one way. In programmatic, we call them as another way. But meaningfully, the target, whatever the operation we would like to handle, will be the same. Clear? Yeah. So, so linear algebraic functions, all these are the part of the NumPy because most of the time linear algebra is a way to represent the data that eventually convert into matrix form based on which we'll be taking a lot of decisions. So when time progress, it will be get to know that how this NumPy will be highly associated with the linear algebra. Right? Yes, let's go a little ahead. Yeah. Just let me take a first example that, I wanted to calculate the speed. I want to calculate the speed for which I'm just holding distance. Let's suppose there is a 10 kilometers. The time will be taken is 30. There will be 15 kilometers, 47. Likewise, distance and times are going to be held by the two different lists. This is a list one and this is a list two. Right? So because the list will be obviously know that it is a mutable. We can add certain elements to that list We can remove them, we can update them, we can append them, we can pop them, we can clear them. All the operations you might have done over the list. Okay, right. The concept here is that limitation of list. You can change the individual values. Let's suppose here in place of 15 we can replace by there is an append, like there is an insert operation. Yes or no? And because it is a mutable, we can assign also. Wherever the place you wanted to replace a value, we can assign them. So here the concept is that we can handle the individual elements in the list, but you cannot apply mathematical operation over the entire the list. What does it mean? Let's suppose whatever the distance will be there, I want to multiply all the elements at a time by 2. That's not going to be happen. We cannot apply the mathematical operation over an entire the list. We can apply the certain operation on an individual list, individual elements. So to overcome that particular drawback, right? So here if you look at, I am just trying to apply, I want to calculate speed. To calculate the speed, distance by time is going to become a formula in order to calculate the speed. Now the point here is that if you're trying to do so, this is an error is going to be thrown to you. Can you create a list and can you do that? Yes. So what does it mean? A list allows to be apply an operation on individual elements, on individual objects. It does not allow to perform a specific operation on entire the elements of the object is not going to be supported. Yes, okay. So let's go ahead. Yeah. Now, here if you look at a numerical Python, Numpy full form is what? Numerical Python supports multi-dimensional arrays, which means one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, three-dimensional array, n-dimensional arrays, over which easily we can apply the mathematical operations, which means let's suppose the same numpy is also look like the same similar structure. It look like, but if we create an array using list, will be one way it will be applied. If we create an array using numpy, it will be allowed the operations to be applied on entire the list, which is so here if you look at it, look like it will be look like a list only, but it is created by the numpy. Numpy is predefined module which was created by scikit-learn. Are you clear? It is a build. Numpy is not user defined. It is already built in, but list is user defined. Are you clear? Yes, yes. So now what I'm doing here is that the same distance and time, rather than list, I'm converting them as a numpy array. What exactly I'm doing? I told you that import numpy means it is a built-in module. NP is, alias name. Already we have created the module name as an alias name when we have seen modules, packages, and functions concept, right? So what I'm trying to do here, that I'm creating a distance as an array. Numpy is the alias name. Dot array is the built-in function. Clear? So if we pass the distance list as a parameter, such a way that numpy underscore distance will become an array which is created by numpy. So creating a list by list is different. Creating an array by the numpy is different. The way allocate an elements, the way it allocates the memory, the way it will handle be completely different. Kindly understand. Most of the time, do you know TPU? What is full form of TPU? GPU? CPU? No. See, CPU is made by Intel, GPU is made by NVIDIA, TPU is made by Google. Whatever the operations we do apply on the NumPy comes under the TPU, Tensor Flow Processing Unit. Clear? So it is made by because it way to allocate memory, the way it performs the operation is completely different from the list. We should not compare with the list with a NumPy, but look like the same. But the internally the storage is completely different from. Now you create a distance and numpy as well as calculate the speed. It gives you absolutely like what is the speed of in association with each particular speed and time, isn't it? Is that able to perform? Are you able to perform? Okay. Yeah, you have to. Please do it. You cannot see dislike and you cannot overconfident that I'm remembering everything. Kaushik, are you doing? So if possible, try to go with a collab. Uh, I already created when I was, let's 1 second. Yes, I'm just creating this particular notebook. Can you see here? Whenever we deals with the data science related packages and all, we have to practice to be individually execute each line. So if you type the program in Python, any number of lines will be executed at once. You cannot execute one line. Otherwise, you have to make a comment. If you go with 200 lines, you have to change the comments as a normal line. Normal line will be as a comment. It will be a tedious job. Better you try to be create a one collab in your own folder, in your own drive. That data science. This is the name of the file. Whatever you type, it will be directly enter into the Google Drive. Obviously, The distance and time will be taken. So now if you wanted to perform, yes. So this gives you distance spelling, okay. DIS. PAN. Yes. Obviously, it is not a supported operation. This is the result. And you have to make a comment here that distance and time are the list data structures. So note list data structures, list DS allows only operations on individual objects or elements. When you're trying to perform operations on all the elements at a time, it does not support. Yeah, this is the drawback of that, and obviously eventually it gives you a result like this. This is the error will be given through you like that. So if you wanted to create another cell, you can click onto this code such a way that it will be allocated another cell to be create a program. So now here, so create a NumPy array to overcome drawbacks of list data structures. So same thing is here, I will be import NumPy. It is a built-in module where I'll be create as a NP as the alias name. So I'll be creating the same kind of distance and time. and here that speed is going to be created, and it will be calculated with the help of distance, and we have to create so otherwise we can create a numpy underscore distance is equal to np dot array. Whenever you create, it will be show you that obviously you can give distance as the parameter, such a way that it will be. So if you want, you can print them properly, such a way that you will get to know. Hmm. np underscore distance. Yeah. Similarly, you can able to create the numpy underscore time is equal to np dot array, where you can call the time, and then you np underscore time. Then now similarly, we can able to create even the speed is equal to, it is like a formula, obviously, right? So obviously it will be able to create the corresponding values accordingly. Here, if you look at, this is the resultant value which is associated with this particular speed. See, I have changed the values. Don't expect the same values. You can also change the values, like whatever the distances, whatever the time, and whatever the speed. All the things will be changed according to the given time and as well as speed. So such a way that this is an advantage of the NumPy, where the operations can be applied directly on all the elements of the arrays rather than the list has a drawback. See, an advantage of the collab like Jupyter Notebook is that we can also take out this particular like we can take out this particular entire thing. You can take out, and you can take another line and you can execute. In PyCharm, what happens, if you write all the lines at a one particular place, it will be treated as a one program and gives us, lot of outputs. Which line is it doing what kind of an operation, you don't understand. Now, if you execute this, it will be displayed to you, only, what exactly distance and what exactly, the corresponding speed, isn't it? Like what is the time. So here it will be calculated by taking, see, once you declare the corresponding variables like distance and time, those will be belonging to entire the notebook, isn't it? So just like they are global variables, they are not pertaining to a specific cell. They will be applicable to be available on all the rule. Like it will be a notebook, right? See, collab is a notebook which will be called at any place. It will be applicable to access, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead little. Yeah, so NumPy is basically it's a package or module which will be especially made for computation operations in the Python. So it will be helpful in order to support the fast and efficient multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array is also known as ND array. ND indicates n-dimensional. See, let's I'll just hold on. Yeah. Uh, yeah. If you look at here, this is what one dimensional array means it has only x-axis. Whereas if we come to here, it will be look like a list, but it is, yes, absolutely. It is two-dimensional array, x-axis, y-axis, isn't it? So obviously it is three-dimensional array. How it will be look like, sir? Z-axis. Huh? Yes, correct. X, Y, Z. Clear. So this is how the way you understand conceptually, it will be look like one way. If you, the way you understand mathematical would be in one way, the way you understand physics way, it will be another way, isn't it? So a matrix can be called as a vector can be called as a matrix, isn't it? So on array also same thing. One dimensional array, two dimensional array. These are all words are different, but more or less they will be the same. Clear? So here, if you go up, yeah. So I have shown to you that the NumPy will be very fast and efficient in order to handle the multi-dimensional array. Absolutely, the NumPy will be execute element-wise and computations and mathematical calculations. Obviously, if you hold one element in one particular identifier, it will be called as a scalar vector. Are you clear? If you hold one particular value in a one particular variable, x is equal to 10, it is called, what? It is a scalar vector. If the same object is hold more than one element, it will be called as a one-dimensional vector. If the same element will be organized the elements in a row and column wise, it will be called as a matrix. If the same element will be hold in a more than two particular dimensions, that will be called as a three-dimensional x, y, z. It can be x, y, z. It can be x, y, z, p, q also. Let's suppose if we draw the particular diagram, what is this? How many shapes are will be there? Three-dimensional. Cube means what? అసలు క్యూబ్ అంటే ఏంటి? అసలు క్యూబ్ అంటే దానికి ఒక మీనింగ్ ఒక దానికి ఒక వర్డ్. ఆక్టాల్ అంటే ఏంటి? క్యూబ్ అంటే ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి నెట్ లో. ఇంతమంది ఇన్ని చెప్తే అందులో ఏది కరెక్ట్ ఏది ఇన్కరెక్ట్? సో ఎన్ని షేప్స్ ఉంటాయి దీంట్లో? క్యూబ్ అంటేనే 6, కరెక్ట్. సో కొద్దిగా మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ నాలెడ్జ్ అవసరము వీటికి. సో కైండ్లీ అండర్స్టాండ్ అకార్డింగ్లీ, రైట్? ఎస్. So that's NumPy is going to be applicable in order to perform the linear algebraic operations like Fourier transforms, random number generations, lot of mathematical operations it will be allowed. Yes or no? It has the because there is a programming language called as a Fortran. What is the full form of Fortran? Have you heard this Fortran? It is programming language. like in internet? What is the full form of photon? See, mathematically, we have lot of formulas. Are they working properly or not according to the boundary value analysis? We have to apply through the particular programming language. So whenever we are going to test whether, linear regression y is equal to mx plus c is working properly or not, we have to create a dummy values and we have to test whether it is working properly or not, isn't it? So in a similar way, a random generation of the numbers will be required in many situations in order to test the formula. Clear? So obviously the NumPy is going to be look like a tool in order to reading and writing an array based on the data set. So what do you mean by data set? What do you mean by data set? What do you mean by data set? This word is very quite commonly used in machine learning and data science. What do you mean by data set?
Collection of data.
Collection of data.
Tabular form.
Collection of data, if you organize in a tabular form, then it will be called as a data set, isn't it? So because data might not be expected all the time, in the form of tabular. What are the types of data we have in naturally? I already told when introduction given about data science. There are 4 types of data set data will be available. What are they?
Binary form. Text.
Especially in data science I am talking about. Don't take raw data, analog data and digital data. I'm talking about data science. It's related to data set I'm talking about. Once recollect, what are the types of data analysis we do?
Descriptive, predictive, prescriptive, diagnose.
Diagnose or diagnosis?
Diagnosis.
What are the differences between them? Kaushik, you tell me. 1 second, just hold on. Kaushik, you tell me what are the types of data analysis we do? What descriptive analysis means? What does it mean? What you do in descriptive analysis? Venu, you tell me. What are the 4 types of data analysis? Each explain me one line. Nothing but we need to predict the data according to that. Tell me meaningful sentences. Priya, you tell me. What are the types of data analysis we have?
Descriptive, predictive, diagnostic, descriptive.
Can you explain me what each individual will do? What he will do in that each analysis?
Descriptive, we will like
1.5 hour class I took for that. So whatever I explained to you is useless, right? You are not in a position to remember. Hmm? What's the problem with? I've done Firebase project. Can you tell me briefly what exactly I've done in Firebase? Why do we use Firebase database? How it will be different from other databases? How it will be useful for you? What exactly Firebase is? How do you have connect from the front end to back end? Tell me. See, we are planning to send you for the interviews, like, drives now. I think we are not confident enough. Even I have got a feedback from Srini. Have you attended Dikshita for the meeting? No, right? Who have attended? Uh, Sharanya. Venu, have you attended? I think Sai Varun have attended. Okay. With this level of knowledge, will you recommend a person to send for the interview? I'm just asking theoretical questions, like, I'm not asking any kind of difficult questions for you. Hmm? See, you tell me where went wrong. I'm seeing, let's suppose Venu have, I think this is the second time or third time, whenever second time, right? You are attending, you already attended in evening batch, and again many concepts you have learned, right? Okay, okay. Anyhow, you are good. Tell me, what's your opinion? If a person wanted to be allowed to attend more than once,